Hi, good morning. I like to shoot a very short video about the approach to attempting an economics exam. When you go for an economics exam, you are given certain economic models, certain relevant tools. So before you go for an exam, go to the exam syllabus, check the type of economic models that you need to know. Now, understanding the model is not good enough. You need to actually understand about the variables and the constraints. You should also try your best to memorize the diagrammatic representation, diagrams as related to the models. And along the way, you definitely need to memorize some important definitions. So that's the beginning. You need to know the models, you need to know the diagram, and you need to know the definitions. And within the economic exam, there'll be case study. The case study could be created by the examination board, sorry, or it could be taken from economic journals or common economic articles. So when you are given these case studies, you must ask yourself, and this is the same as what I teach my English students, you must ask yourself, what's the bias? Now, it's sometimes very hard because you look at the clock and you say, I have only 3 hours to finish the exams. But ask yourself, what is or what are the bias of the author? Every article has a bias. So the bias could be that it's written from the viewpoint of a reporter. It could be written along the viewpoint of someone from the European Union or someone from Asia. Every article has a bias. It could be 5 years old, it could be pre-pandemic, post-pandemic. So you must understand the bias because within the article, there'll be questions where if you're doing macroeconomics, they'll ask you, so what should the government do? So normally they pose a question and they expect you to provide the answer. Right. So in a very strange way, it can be very interesting, but can be also very harrowing when you go for an exam where you're not an economist and they're asking you questions. Right, correct. They ask you questions that with regards to a problem that a government must face. So this is my point of view. My point of view is just be calm and go back to the models that you brought to the exam hall and then tell yourself what's your bias. So after you understand what is their bias, you must understand what is your bias. Your bias could be that that period of time that they're talking about, you have no idea. So they could be asking you questions about the housing loan problem in the US. They could be asking you questions about cryptocurrency. They could be asking you about pre-digital currency. You never thought about it. You only heard about it maybe 2 weeks before the economic exams. Econs is just an exam for you to be able to pass so that you can finish up perhaps your business degree. So economics is a very interesting exam in the sense that you are given the tools, but along the way, you are put in a role where you are the government and you find solutions. And I always tell my students that when you come out from an economic exam and when you written your essay, that's where you really appreciate the subject. And that's where you really understand the complexity of econs. And that's where maturity comes because all economists never give quick answers. All economists will ask about constraints, about problems, and then they will try to locate an economic model that kind of matches the scenario, and then they make predictions, but as a caveat with probability. So I hope you enjoy this very, very short recording, and if you need more help, just text me. Thank you very much for your time.